What's up, everybody? This is Scott from InnerSiege, and today we are going to do our third episode of What's Spinning. What's Spinning is normally the CDs or albums that I'm spinning over and over and over again within the week that I make this video. But this week I thought I'd do something a little different. Had a bunch of people on Facebook and on YouTube ask me to recommend some good Christian metal, knowing that I sang in a Christian metal band for 20 years and that I have a passion for that style of music. So I thought today, instead of doing five albums I'm spinning, I'm going to do 5 Christian metal CDs that I would recommend. Paring it down to only 5 was really difficult because I have hundreds and hundreds of Christian metal CDs that I could share, and I'm probably going to make this a part 1 so that I can share some more in the future. But for now, I just picked out 5 that, not necessarily my favorite 5, just 5 that caught my attention right away. So we'll just go ahead and start with that right now. And first off, we have Haven, Your Dying Day. 1990, Rex Records. Haven were a straightforward heavy metal band, kind of remind me of bands like Lethal or Hellstar or Steel Prophet, with those high-pitched, clean vocals, lots of vibrato in the vocals, and the heavy riffs, galloping riffs, tasty guitar solos, pounding drums. It is heavy metal, but it's got that melodic sense to it as well. Maybe even a little bit of Queensryche and Metal Church thrown in. I'd call it American power metal. So, 1990, Haven, Rex Records. I believe it's been re-released a couple times. I don't know how hard it is to find anymore. I've had this one since it came out, but well worth looking into if you're into that Steel Prophet, Lethal, Hellstar style of heavy metal. Number 2, this is one of my all-time favorites. If I was to make a top 10, this one would definitely make it into probably the top 5. Absolutely love this record, and it is Recon, Behind Enemy Lines. Intense Records, 1989? No, 1990. Yeah, 1990 this was released. I discovered Recon off of the California Metal compilation, which is sitting right here. And there's a song on there called Light the Fire that just blew me away when I discovered them. The California Metal compilations were kind of like the Metal Massacre or US Metal compilations, but with Christian metal. And I discovered, quite a few bands from those East Coast and California Metal compilations, and this happened to be one of them. 2 years after that came out, in 80, this came out, and this band pretty much became Deliverance too. But right here, just galloping heavy metal. Queensryche meets, I don't know, it's got some heavy stuff, like almost like Metallica on it too, so it's somewhere in between the two. Very Queensryche-ish, like the EP though, like the direction you would have wanted Queensryche to go into after, like The Warning and stuff like that. It's just heavy galloping metal. And there's even a speed metal song in here that sounds a lot like Deliverance, and Jimmy Brown from Deliverance actually plays on the song. And then I believe 3 of the 4 band members here actually became or joined Deliverance during their Weapons of Our Warfare era, and you can see them in the Weapons of Our Warfare video that played on MTV and is on YouTube and whatnot. This copy happens to be signed by several of the band members. My band Ultimatum opened up for them several times, and several of them are good friends of ours. So great album, Recon, Behind Enemy Lines, 1990, Intense Records. I don't believe it has been released. It was re-released by M8, I think, with bonus tracks, including those California Metal tracks on there. Number 3. Now this is a band that's been around for a long time. This band formed in 1980, and a lot of people are very familiar with them, but the band is called Saint. And this album happens to be one of their newer albums. Since they released 3 albums in the 1980s. They released Time's End, Too Late for Living, and their first EP was called Warriors of the Sun. And those are pretty well known by almost everybody into the metal scene. But they put out a bunch of albums later on after they reformed in the 90s, late 90s. This one here happens to be Crime Scene Earth 2.0, Retroactive Records, and I can't remember the date. It's not important what year it came out, I guess. But the reason it's called 2.0 is because, I can't remember the date, it was 2008. The original Crime Scene Earth came out in 2008, and I bought it as a new release. It has a different cover, different mix, different vocals. And I remember when I bought it at first, the vocals sounded a little different. It didn't sound like those screaming Rob Halford type vocals that you used to hear from Judas Priest. From Saint, and because Josh Kramer definitely has that kind of Rob Halford-ish sound. On the original Crime Scene Earth, it just the vocals were different, and I soon discovered that's because most of the songs didn't have Josh Kramer singing on them. It had bass player Richard Lynch singing on them. And funny enough to actually do a Judas Priest song on here, Invader, I believe. Yeah, Invader. But very Judas Priest-ish. You know, you could probably put it up there like bands like Primal Fear as well. Just galloping heavy metals, screaming vocals. 2.0 came out, remixed it. Josh went in and sang all the vocals over again. Remastered, new cover art, and there you go. Crime Scene Earth 2.0. And a little bit of side bit of information, that hand that's holding the Earth there with the spiked wristbands on happens to be my own hands, and I own those wristbands. Used to wear them on stage with Ultimatum. So artwork is by Rexorcist, who also has done some work for tons of bands, Tourniquet and Ultimatum as well. Next band, I was trying to stick mostly to just straightforward heavy metal in this one, but I decided to put one in that was a speed metal band. Most people are probably familiar with this band, especially their album, their second album, but this happens to be my favorite album by them, Deliverance. And this is their self-titled album from 1988, I believe. No, it was recorded in 88, released in 1989. Again, Intense Records. And yeah, this album is signed by Glenn Rogers. Glenn went on to be in Steel Prophet and later on Hyrax and Heretic. He was also in Vengeance Rising. So anyhow, Jimmy Brown, of course, is in this band. And yeah, galloping heavy metal, but it's that speed metal, almost thrash. I wouldn't describe it as pure thrash, but somewhere like Metallica meets Dark Angel or Death Angel, somewhere in between the two. You know, it has the melody and stuff like that, but it also has the speed. So fantastic album, absolutely one of my favorites. Again, with Recon, this one would probably make it into my top 10 Christian albums of all times. This one has been released. Was released by Retroactive Records, and with a new cover. And as you can see, there's the new cover. And of course, I have that one autographed too by Jimmy Brown and bassist Brian. I can never pronounce his last name, Karula. Anyhow, we played a show with them back in 2010, and I had them autograph the CD for me. So, but yeah, this is the re-release. I actually like the cover on the re-release better than the original, which is unusual, but Retroactive Records. And then finally, number 5. Thought I'd do one where it's, you know, come out of the 80s and early 90s. This one is a more modern album, and this is the album that's playing in the background right now that you can hear behind me, hopefully. This is InnerSiege, Kingdom of Shadows, 2012. More straightforward heavy metal, power metal, kind of like Primal Fear or Dream Evil. And interesting enough, this album was produced by Frederick Nordstrom, who has done work for Primal Fear and In Flames and Opeth. So, you know, the production is outstanding, and as you can hear from the music, it's outstanding as well. Just those high-pitched, clean, Jeff Tate-ish kind of vocals and heavy riffs. The guitar solos are just out of this world. I can't remember the guitar player's name off the top of my head, but he kind of has that Yngwie Malmsteen-ish, you know, sweeping arpeggios that he does. And yeah, if you're into that, you know, Primal Fear sort of power metal, somewhere between, you know, the American power metal of Metal Church and that European power metal, but not the flowery keyboardy stuff. Just as you can hear, heavy, galloping. It's not flowery whatsoever. And their vocalist, yeah, Jeremy Ray, fantastic. So yeah, this one's autographed too, and I have met this band a couple times. We opened for them, or they opened for us. I can't remember, out in I don't even remember what year it was. Maybe 2010, and I think it was at Cornerstone out in Chicago. So anyhow, InnerSiege, power metal. So that's it. 5 Christian heavy metal CDs that I would suggest checking out, and let me know what you think. You can find all those on YouTube and check them out, and I hope you guys will. And I will get back with a part 2 on this. And once again, I just want to thank you all for watching, and appreciate you all checking out my videos. I hope you'll check out my NoLeftToMetal.com site, and please come and chat metal with us. We have a discussion board, heartofmetal.net, which is free to join, and just come in. There's lots of great people there who are very knowledgeable on all things heavy metal and hard rock, and you know, other things too. We have a whole section there on, you know, other styles of music as well. So it was great talking to you guys once again. God bless and stay strong.